Hi guys and welcome to Gaming Watcher. My name is Rolton and in this video I'll give you a complete guide to the Shattered Throne dungeon in Destiny 2. The Shattered Throne, the throne that has been shattered, El Trono Destrozado, Le Trône Brisé. The name arouses thoughts of fallen kingdoms, demolished empires, power that corrupts and crumbles until only the hollow remains are left to tell the tale of what once was. In this case, this name, the Shattered Throne, tells the story of how the awoken queen Mara Sov survived her own death. Does this sound weird to you? Stick around to the end of the video, I'll go through the lore of the Shattered Throne. But first, let's go through the actual encounters in the dungeon and how to get through them. This dungeon was introduced with the Forsaken expansion and is the first dungeon in Destiny history. When released, the dungeon was only available every 3 weeks, but today you can play it whenever you want to. It's located in the Dreaming City in your director. Now to the encounters. The Labyrinth. In this first encounter you have to find symbols and kill the Labyrinth architects. Sadly, this is not the same architects as the ones constantly killing you whenever you're doing some jumping puzzle. Imagine getting to kill them though. Oh Jesus, the sweet revenge. That would be awesome. Well, this is not that. This encounter can either be very frustrating and time consuming or really nice and easy. If you follow the instructions I lay out here, it will be the latter. These Labyrinth architects are big tanky taken enemies that is found near these symbols that you have to find. Each location there is 2 symbols, one floating in the air and the other one on the wall. The one on the wall tells you which symbol you are at, and the one floating in the air tells you which symbol you're going to next. These symbols have fixed locations, so if you know your way around this maze, this gets a lot easier. I'll try to give you an understanding of the layout here. In the middle of this labyrinth, there's a big building with 2 towers, one on the right and one on the left. We'll be using this building as our middle point when finding our way through the labyrinth. The location of the symbols are as follows. Infinity Snake is located in the very back of the center building. U-Snake, located in the middle of the center building. Dragon Breathing Fire Left, located in the left tower. Boring Bird, located in the right tower. Fish Curl, located in the courtyard in front of the right tower. 2 Fish Spin, located between Infinity Snake and Fire Breathing Dragon right, in the lower area under the rest of the map. Bird Fly Down, located at the entrance of the area where the first architect dies. So you find the symbol on the wall, then you slay all of the ads around it including the Labyrinth architect, and then the next symbol will be shown to you. Go to the next symbol, rinse and repeat. If you get lost, just try to find ads. This is not 100% bulletproof, but most of the time the place where there are ads is the place that you're supposed to go. The last architect will always be in the middle of the labyrinth, so you're kind of going back to where you started to end the encounter. When this is done, a big hole in the floor will open up. This is where you're supposed to go next. The Descent. This part of the dungeon is more about moving forward through rooms filled with enemies than actual encounters. There are no real mechanics, just keep moving forward and kill enemies. There are certain things that you should be aware of though, that I will go through here. First you will get into this open area where you will see enemies beneath you. Kill them with some long range weapons. When the enemies are down, jump down there and begin climbing the stairs. Now, you don't really need to kill these enemies if you don't feel like it. If you want to, you can just run past them, but come on, killing them is pretty much the point of playing the game, right? So you can do this until you reach a taken captain called Asterion Set Apart. You need to kill this boss to progress to the next room. Once he's down, a big door will open and you can continue through to the next room. Do so with caution though. The room is filled with enemies, and especially the snipers on both sides can really do some serious damage. You can take out a lot of them from outside the room, shooting through the doorway. Eventually you'll have to move forward though. Just make sure to be aware of the snipers on both sides and take those out as quickly as possible, and you should be fine. At the very end of the room you're going up the stairs to the left. Now you will reach this big room with a lot of small beams. You have to walk on these beams to reach the end of the room. To make this even more fun, Bungie is throwing a couple of big taken ogres at you that can push you off the beams. There are basically two ways to go about this. Either you can run past the ogres and pray that you won't get hit or miss a beam and fall to your death, or you can go slowly and kill every single ogre from a distance, making sure that no one is pushing you anywhere. Do this however you like. I'm a scaredy pants myself, so I always kill all the ogres and go slow. I don't want to add more kills to the architect's perfect scoreboard. After this you will reach an area where you're slowed and can't use your jump abilities. You now have to make your way through this area while a horde of shadow thralls is coming at you. This is pretty straightforward. Just
fly, you fools!
shoot the occasional thrall and throw some grenades. Now you will get to the next boss encounter, Vorgeth, the Boundless Hunger. Now you have to defeat a giant fallen ogre and his very annoying wizard buddies. This encounter can be very difficult, but if you follow the strategy that I lay out here, you can get through it pretty easily. Vorgeth is standing in the middle of the room trying to blast you wherever you go, so you have to keep moving at all times. Vorgeth is immune. To make him vulnerable, you need to kill the 4 wizards and pick up their buffs. One catch here though is that once you kill one wizard, a timer starts and you now only have 45 seconds to kill the next wizard and pick up their buff. Everyone on the fire team gets the buff, so only one of you needs to stay alive for you to keep the buff. Once you have collected the 4 buffs, you need to go and dunk them at one of the 4 fires around Vorgeth. When the fire goes out, the ogre will be vulnerable but also very aggressive. He will begin to throw axiom bolts at you. Just know that those are not nice at all. So keep away from those. Put some lead in his face until he's either dead or becomes immune again, at which point you have to start the whole process over. My advice for this encounter is to take out all of the ads before you start killing wizards. If you just clear the ads, the killing of the wizards will go much more smoothly and the timer will not be any problem. When Vorgeth is down, you get another drop of gear. Also, move forward to greet the statue of Sure Ido. This will not only remove the awoken talisman from your inventory, but it'll start the quest to find the Wish Ender bow. The climb. This next section is really straightforward. You have to go up with these elevators. With each elevator there are some ads that needs a good old beating before you can take the elevator up. It feels kinda like this.
Cool Spidey outfit.
Thanks.
Where'd you get it?
I made it.
Looks uncomfortable.
It gets kind of itchy. It rides up in the crotch a little bit too.
Continue this until you get to the top. Once you do get to the top, you will have to run along the wall where you have those taken black hole explodey thingies that can push you off the ledge and make you insane. run along the wall until you get to the end, where you will find one more final elevator that will take you to the top. At the top you will find the final boss, Duel in Karo, the Eternal Return. In this fight you will face not one, not two, not three, but 4 bosses. The main boss, Duel in Karo, and her 3 giant knight besties that are a real pain in the cornhole. Oh, and there's an army of scions coming at you as well. To get to the damage phase you have to kill the 3 knights and get their buffs. Just like with the 4 wizards in the previous boss encounter. These knights are not playing around though, they are tough to take down and they deal a lot of damage. That's why the best strategy is to begin with taking down the scions. Clean the room so you have time and space to focus on the knights. The Risk Runner SMG is awesome for this because you're in a relatively tight space, which means that the chain lightning is really effective. The next move in the strategy is to get all of the knights close to dying before going for the kills. Be aware that when a knight nears death, it becomes much faster and much more difficult to deal with. Nonetheless, make sure all 3 knights are nearly dead before you decide to give them their final blows to get the buffs and start the damage phase. This is just to ensure that you can kill them in time before the buff runs out. The third thing you should be aware of is that sometimes Duel in Karo will summon a crystal that shields the knights. When you shoot the crystal, a new wave of scions will spawn. Take those out before continuing with the knights. So when the 3 knights are down, do damage to Duel in Karo. Whisper of the Worm is a good choice for DPS here, or something like the Xenophage. If done right, she can easily be taken down in one phase. If not, well, then you're up for another glorious round. You can do all of that. Or you could just do this. When Duel in Karo has left the building, you have completed the Shadow Throne dungeon in Destiny 2. Congratulations, Guardian! And now, as promised, the lore part. I think this lore is going to be important leading up to the expansion The Witch Queen. And this is a doozy, guys. There's a lot of lore connected to the Shadow Throne that needs to be explained, but I've really tried to boil it down to focus mostly on the Shadow Throne itself and what you're actually experiencing in there. So let's begin there. The Shadow Throne takes place in a space called Eleusinia. This is a throne world built by the awoken Queen Mara Sov and the Ahamkara Riven. Do you see? Already in just that one sentence there's a lot that needs explaining. So before we go any further, let's clear some things up. A throne world is a kind of a miniverse where the owner or creator of the throne world has absolute power. Throne worlds are mainly used by the Hive. Having a throne world kind of gives you an extra life, because when you are killed outside of your throne world, your soul will return to the throne world, and from here you can go through a process to be revived. Only if you are killed within your own throne world will you die permanently. And Ahamkara is a mysterious shape-shifting and wish-granting being. There are almost none of them left in the universe, but Riven is one of these and has been helping Mara Sov with several things throughout the years. Amongst these, building her own throne world. Riven is no longer under the control of Mara though, as she fell into the hands of Savathun, the Witch Queen. Savathun used Riven to curse the Dreaming City. So, Mara Sov used the throne world to survive when Oryx destroyed most of the Awoken fleet in the Taken War in Destiny 1.
You and I know how this ends. We've known since you escaped from that pit. The Awoken have played their part. This was all part of the plan.
Later, her throne world was corrupted by Oryx and is now the staging ground for Savathun's daughter, Dul Incaru, the last boss of the Shattered Throne. So what is Dul Incaru doing in Mara Sov's throne world? According to lore, she is somehow working on allowing her mother, Savathun, to access the Distributary, the home of the awoken people, and ascend to godlike power throughout the realm's time dilation. So Savathun is planning to invade the awoken realm so she can have unlimited power. This is why the Dreaming City is cursed. This is why the throne world of Mara Sov is corrupted, and this is why we're continuously killing Dul Incaru in the Shattered Throne. So once again, just like in the Pit of Heresy, Savathun is the one pulling the strings in the background. If you want to join me and other gaming watchers, feel free to join the Discord. There's a link in the description. If you found this video helpful, please leave a like and consider subscribing to the channel. That really means the world to me, guys. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.